for FY26, it's $2,700 per home. And I estimated about
40 homes?
yeah. I didn't wanna go too high, cause, you know, if there's any hiccups.
Correct.
And they are officially starting on Thursday, so.
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday, yep. Home guarantee fund, there had not been any money under there for quite some time, but that is a fee that was added in to the building fees for Cannon Meadows. So that's $50 each, so at 40 homes. I reduced the income tax that's, that we get from the state, because we've been coming in under, so I adjusted it to be a little closer to what we actually get in, so it went from 150 to 130.
So I'm reading too, the public utility taxes, that stayed the same, is that, even with the rates going up, there's no extra, cost? With everybody's electric bills going up too?
I don't think that that's gonna be affected,
Okay.
well, when we get to the electric, that's where I'm gonna have a,
Yeah, this is revenue right now.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, it's just,
I'm trying to follow down for legit, I hope we don't have any claims coming up, I left it at 0, cause I think we exhausted, well, I hope anyway.
What's our, for legit, if we get sued, are we at $1 million or are we at $5 million?
I think we're in a million.
We should consider.
I believe you increased it a few years ago to 5,
Did we?
yeah,
Okay.
because
Yeah, if
the,
we didn't,
we
we should.
a monthly cost was only, I think the annual was like $11 more or something.
yeah.
That
It's just, if we,
made it silly
if we
to
didn't,
not.
we should.
Grant proceeds, I didn't put anything because there isn't any grant funds, just general that I could think of. There's one that, we're on the list for Jesse Sutton Park for the, autism. And that one looks like, do we have any update on that one, Mandy? It's on the list for approval, or on their budget.
On the list for that one, for the boat ramp, and I've just forgotten the third.
Oh,
one.
stormwater management.
Stormwater management. But nothing's come out since the freeze on grants.
Do you know how much they are for each one of those by chance?
Jesse
Or roughly?
Sutton was 200 and some thousand.
Like $254,000, was it 7 for the boat ramp? It was,
Maybe 1 second.
And the stormwater was quite high.
but that's all been,
Yeah.
The boat ramp, was that to improve the road, is that for something else?
I think it's the parking lot and the road.
Parking lot and road. So according to this, it was. It was 75,000 for the boat ramp. Jesse Sutton was 225,000 and 2.4 million for stormwater management.
How much?
2.4.
It was something I participated in, a project that the county had put on to evaluate all the stormwater systems around, so they came up with a couple areas to target, especially after the, what was the, Irene? Is that the one that flooded here?
Think so.
Porta potty grant, took that out, that is no longer available. The line, almost to the bottom for credit card service fees, took that out because, we don't collect them.
You're gonna charge you 3%.
We don't, no. If there's any fees, that's from the third party online, but we don't do it. Was there anything else on the first page? There's not really not any changes.
No.
It's pretty much a flat button.
I just mentioned the autism awareness, proceeds from Whoville, left the same. The Car Show Music Fest increased that because they've got some fairly large sponsors, so between that and the entries, I think we will definitely surpass the 15,000 from last year, so I raised it to 25. Fishing derby and kids in the park are going to be combined. It's gonna be on a Saturday. So there's only the one line, $500 for that, for any donations and stuff that get brought in.
So the total revenue, by my calculations, is down 29,589. I mean, that's a rough figure, but about 2%.
Okay, questions on the revenue? Okay, expenditures, salaries are actually below by $136.
Mine is showing 5,000 difference.
237.
Probably gonna make a change after that.
180. Right, that's what I got.
Yeah, I got
Oh, the total line? Is that?
No, on the expenditures up here.
Payroll salaries from 25 is proposed, it's
Oh,
5,000.
the main line, salary and personnel. Can I change that?
Because you know why, she's got the total because everything else
Yeah.
here is dropped. See, this was that, and it went to
Yeah.
that. That
Do
went
you
to
wanna
that.
go line by line in these or the totals?
Oh, so we're just going down here.
It's your call.
See, here's what I'm looking at, is payroll salaries.
Right.
We've got last year's budget and this year's.
Yeah,
recommended
but
budget.
She was just
I was
reading
just
the
going from
total.
here.
Oh, no, we need to go down each
Okay, so then the actual,
Cause the salaries and personnel, the bottom line number includes everybody, whereas this first one talks about the general town employees.
no, that salary and personnel is strictly for town for town hall employees, the whole thing.
That does not include public works, that's all.
It doesn't, no public works, no PD, just,
That's what I just asked you. These salaries that I'm looking at, the 185, 237 that is proposed, does not include the salaries proposed for public works or the police.
correct.
Correct.
You just said that you did.
Town.
Hmm?
Just the town. Correct.
That's what I asked.
Group insurance, that hadn't changed.
Unemployment tax, the numbers had come in lower, so I just adjusted a little bit. FICA left the same. workers' comp, reduced that a little bit. I did more of a, adjustments based on the department and the number of employees and things like that. Unfortunately, the police department, some of their rates are higher than. Retirement benefits. I adjusted the one that says retirement benefits, and then the last line before the totals where it says state retirement admin fee.
Yes.
I adjusted those because, they were getting confused on the coding for which one. The totals come out in
So
the same
you're
ballpark.
saying you separated them out?
I separated them a little bit more than what they were.
It's two different line items, so it makes it easier for the bookkeeper.
Yeah.
Right.
So, let's see, life insurance, long-term disability, short-term disability, all the same. Overtime, I increased by 500 to 3,000. That's ballpark of what we've been coming in.
You know, the actual for the last couple of years is over that, so, yeah,
Right.
Well, we're
or close to it anyway.
Yeah.
try to tighten it up a little bit.
Mm.
Payroll fees removed because those are in-house. So, bottom line, I think the totals that you have, I had changed on here, is 275, 400.
So
Very
ours
nice.
says 275.
The one I got says 279.
275, 400.
Yeah, you got 275.
Reduction.
So slight drop.
Right.
Any questions on those? Community support, Greensboro Connects / food pantry, left that the same. Awareness events, left that the same. I'm just gonna go down here. Partial music fest. Fishing derby, kids in the park, I added 500 to that line, but it was taken from the separate line for kids in the park since we're combining them.
Can I ask a question? So with Greensboro Connects, that covers a variety of things, including the food pantry. If we end up relocating it because of our new office arrangement, there's gonna be an added expense, cause there'll be some shelving and some other stuff that'll have to be purchased and fabricated. So, is that gonna be enough to cover that type of stuff? Or should we put a buffer in there?
That's a discussion for next week.
Okay.
I believe that if we're adjusting the food pantry, removing shelves and things like that, Aaron's Place will also help to cover the costs.
Oh, good.
Because we're umbrellas under them.
Well, we're probably gonna have a discussion next week, so.
Yeah. Let's see, so that one. Christmas lighting and, decorations and stuff like that, I dropped that down from 2,000 to 1,500. Heather, Hugo. Are we still good with the last, with the donation? For the fire
Yes, I didn't
department?
have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Good.
That's fine.
So, in all, that, community support was reduced by 500. Any questions on that one? Okay. Contractual. And then I'm questioning myself, I don't know why I increased marketing. That was gonna be a question mark, I have it at 4,000, but
Well, if you go look at the actuals in 24 and 23, they're both over the 4,000, so.
yeah, but
Year to
This-
date, you only spent 365.
yeah, because we've been trying to pull most of that in-house, so I'm gonna rethink that number, but,
considering that you're at 50%, a little over 50% of your budget year now, and you're almost to the 4,000, I'd leave it alone.
Oh no, for this year, we're at like about $400.
Yeah.
360.
So I'll
Something
sit
you
and
can
chat
target.
with Amanda about that one and see if we can't drop that one down. Audit and accounting, left that the same. Zoning administrator, I'm leaving it there, as you can see, it's not used, but with, Kinnaman's and stuff like that, I'll hold it in there for another year. Planner, I reduced down, I keep dropping that one, that's down to 2,000, again, same with the zoning administrator, I don't know that we're gonna need it, but I'll hold it for another year. Public relations, that was moved over to advertising and marketing. Reimburse legal fees, we wouldn't know until we got them. Legal fees I increased by 5,000.
That was your answer, so you moved 1,000 from public relations to advertising, that made it from 3,000 to 4,000.
Right.
I'm still not sure.
Well, that's
Yeah.
that's all you raised it.
So our legal fees have gone from 25,000 budgeted in 23, 24 you budgeted 17, and 25, 35, now we're up to 40.
Engineering fees, I dropped that down, quite a bit because, most of those types of fees fall under water sewer. Miscellaneous contractor expense, dropped that down by 1,000. MDIA inspections, we get reimbursed for those, so I just left it at 7,500.
Oh,
It says 75,000 on ours.
Oh, well, no,
So
7,500.
mine says 7,500.
mine says 75,000.
Well, it's not 75,000, it's 7,500. Administrative fees for the county, that's what we pay them for collecting the property taxes, left that the same. Exterminator, that was, reduced, and made, so we split it with, yeah, our new roomies. Cleaning, I have at 5, that may be able to be adjusted, I have to look at the total bill, cause we'll split that as well.
Cleaning, you got what? I got 4,000.
That's what I got.
I got 5.
I don't understand how we have different paperwork. It's okay, I mean, first workshop.
Haven't spent any money
meetings.
yet, under clean, year to date, we haven't spent any money.
No, cause we just got around to actually having somebody. Drug and alcohol, increase that to 400, cause they have a slight increase that they sent notification for. So overall contractual got reduced.
About 13,000.
Questions?
The legal fee, we're cutting back one meetings instead of her being twice, here twice a month, gonna be here once a month, and that reduced, or we have some projects coming up that should be for.
Can I jump in?
Yes.
So, just from looking at prior budgets, and this has been happening ever since I've been involved with the town has always budgeted between 15 and 20,000 for legal fees, and you've blown that out of the water every single year. So I think what Tammy has proposed now is more in line with what you're actually spending between, contracts, negotiating, reviewing grant agreements, ordinances, everything. Obviously cutting back from the meetings will help.
I just wanted clarification.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah.
Any other?
So
Okay,
what's that bring up, like, the county to?
for that one, 185,900.
Contractual?
Contract.
Yes. Contractual, left it the same, it's for dues and subscriptions and security. Computer, internet, that dropped down to 16.5 from 25,000 in total. Internet went down a couple thousand, cause that again, will be splitting. Web expense, that should be for the most part gone, there'll be minor things here and there, but Amanda is doing a fine job on handling the website. And
That
then-
dropped another 7 grand.
And what does computer related mean?
Any of our computer expenses for IT,
We'll buy a new computer or,
that better not
I
happen.
mean, we
this
were
year.
taken to task last budget cycle about this line item, so I don't know if we can spell it out any better or define it, but, as I look at it, the actual in 23 was, we only spent 11, well, not say, I only spent 11,000, and 24 we spent 19, and 25, so far year to date, we spent almost 12,000, so. I'm not sure what computer related stands for, but 15,000 seems to be,
Every time you move an office, they all gotta come move all the stuff.
it seems to be in line with what we've been spending. I know
Well,
somebody's
and
gonna
it
ask you.
seems like we have to use them for
Yeah.
various things. Any questions on, any more on contracts? Or I mean, computer and internet, sorry about that. Down to communication utilities, telephones. I increased, however, I may be able to adjust that too, because we're looking at, a different plan, so.
Which ones you increase?
The telephone,
communication
Went up
unit.
1,000.
but, yeah, I hope, I should know by the next budget workshop if I can drop that anymore. Electric, even though we're gonna be splitting that, and I dropped it some, I still left it at 5,000, cause I have no idea what the, yeah.
Yeah, well, we had 8,000 last year, so you dropped it to 5?
Well, because we're gonna be splitting it, we're not having, cause town hall's gone, but
Okay.
I wanna still leave until we see the next couple bills. Gas, left that at 500. Heating, fuel.
Now, what's the gas, diesel, is that?
That's just for the town car, but it's rarely driven. Heating, fuel, I took that out because we're no longer over there. So that's it for utilities. Any questions on those? Maintenance contracts, left the same. Building maintenance repairs, I dropped that down because again, hope we don't have, I think we've done enough on that side.
Well, some of that stuff was done too, aren't we doing something with the doors and stuff?
Yeah, that was through ARPA.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm hoping, how long do we have before those come in? Cause that will be also the windows upstairs
Right.
are gonna be changed.
Right.
Equipment maintenance and repairs, I dropped that down a little bit. System maintenance, probably just gonna get rid of that line because we haven't used it. Vehicle maintenance repairs, left it the same at 1,000. Landscaping, I put 500, we'll see how, the fiscal year goes, but we, other than this little bit here for some flowers, we don't have anything left, so. Any questions on maintenance? Okay, supplies and equipment, office equipment, furniture, cut that in half. Postage and printing, left that the same,
Because I'm
that,
Well, postage
I certainly can't drop it any, I don't know. I'll have to see
I wouldn't
closer.
drop it anymore, I mean,
I
if you look,
can't,
if you
no.
look at the actuals from 24 and 23, you're well over the 2100. So,
Well, some of that gets split out with, water, sewer, and Goldsboro, because of all the, billing. Office supplies stayed the same, materials and supplies, dropped that down by 500.
Uniform.
Yeah. I think the last year's was just kind of like a leftover that just got dropped in there, so I rounded it to 1,000. Any questions on supplies? Operating expenses, porta potties, decrease that amount. Most of it falls under public works when they took parks. Insurance, left that the same. Mayor council, left that the same.
Why is the, insurance so high? When I look back over the actuals from 24 and 23, they're nowhere near about half.
I went in and drilled down and pulled out specific for each department.
So you're
It's
saying,
down.
you mean the actuals is you just
Out of, and, yeah.
divvied it up?
So the 17.5 is under general town expenses, correct? So what I'm seeing for the 24 and 23 actuals are from the general town expenses. So those reflected, it's only about half of what you got budgeted. You got budgeted 17.5 and 24, 9,000, and then 23 it was 9,000. That's a significant jump. I don't understand why we're budgeting so much if the last two preceding years have showed us.
I took it
spending
off
half
the premiums that they sent.
Huh?
I took it off the sheet for the premiums that they sent.
So it doubled. Good lord.
Well, I divvied it up more with the departments.
All right, just take another look at that, cause I mean, the last two actuals are only half of that. Just take a look at this.
Okay. The last two lines, miscellaneous and the meeting expense left with the same.
The overall is down 2,000 from what currently is anyway. but
Yes.
if we- Where we can save, you know.
Yep. Any questions other than that on that? Bank fees and charges, those were dropped a lot because we are switching banks because we are getting robbed and pay a lot of fees. So, switching banks, that is in the process. So maybe with any luck, we'll be able to drop that even more. Projects and grants. I don't have any grant expense listed because, as with the revenue, we don't have any plans specifically for, town hall. Travel and training. I did make an pardon?
I was gonna just ask you, go ahead with your just, go ahead.
I did make an adjustment on mayor and council training that I don't think is on any of yours, cause I just did it. I changed that to 3,000.
Okay, that's for
You try, which one you changed now?
Mayor and
Mayor
council
and council.
training, cause we haven't
From
come
4
in.
to 3?
So the one that just said general training, year to date it's 560.
Yep.
And you're asking 7,500.
Well, because we haven't had the MML and stuff. That's when the hit comes in June.
So, the business travel and lodging also?
Mm-hmm. It's all usually MML.
That seems like a lot.
Well, you could reduce it, so I'm looking back at the previous 2 years' experience where they're running less than 2,500.
I mean, we're budgeting 16.5, but, I mean, and I guess it all depends on who goes.
Mm-hmm.
Always apply for the grant every year.
Right. I mean, that just seems like a lot, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it'll
I
probably
mean,
go
training
down.
I get, because, you know, we're training, Brandon might have classes or something, or whatever, but,
Well, it will likely go down, cause I'm not going and I don't know who else is not going to the summer one.
Well, the actuals are less than 2,500, can we drop it to 2,500, that makes you feel good?
yeah.
Cut it in half?
Well, the actual
The business
for,
travel and lodging.
the actual for this year, but we haven't had MML yet.
I know we haven't, but in
Well, what is it?
actual of 24, we only spent 2,300, and in 23, actually, we spent 17,
Right.
Okay.
I know.
right? I mean, am I reading right?
Yeah.
I'm not telling you.
Okay, 2,500. Reserve and capital, I have nothing, until we get to the end to see if there's actually anything. Debt. Hoping that that can get paid down.
You're talking about the principal debt services?
Mm-hmm. If I can get it to where we can pay that off this year would be wonderful.
What-
Total for that is less than 100,000.
Is that the 82 that you put?
82 and then the interest,
So we're at 94.
so
So we should be able to pay that off.
hopefully get that out of there. So overall, the general fund budget is coming in a significantly reduced amount.
Yeah, cause we went from 724 last year, what we budgeted, to 636. So it's almost 100 grand. Let's see. A lot better.
If we sell that property and pay this debt off, yeah,
Monday.
it'll be the lower.
That's, yeah, as soon as that
Correct.
goes, yes.
It's a $128,000, 637 cents less than last year.
Right.
My math.
So does that beat your 5%?
No.
It's close.
I asked her to reduce the budget by
Let me
5%,
tell you,
2%.
the way you prepared it this year was about 100 times better than last year.
You're getting there.
And it's a reduction.
Yeah, but it's a reduction, thank you.
Thank you.
Any
So does anybody have any
overall?
questions about this budget? Because that's what we're here to talk about.
I just wanna see the corrections on there.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'll send those out tomorrow.
Thank you.
So this one is half the date. 213.
All right, so the next meeting will be held on February the 20th. I won't be here for that meeting, so Mr. Harrison will be in charge of the meeting. And you're gonna amend the agenda to include the discussion about moving the police department. And you're also gonna add that we're gonna introduce our new police officer. I'm gonna swear him in after this meeting, but then he'll be introduced to the council and to the public at that meeting.
Yes.
You Is there anything else you want on the agenda before?
We'll get it covered.
And the next budget workshop will be March the 6th, and what are we discussing that night, do you remember?
Public Works?
Public Works,
Or was it a public works or?
Yeah, I didn't know if you guys wanted to do just the one, or I'll send both, and you can decide if we want one or both.
Decide right now, don't decide
If you want
later.
one or two on there.
for the workshop,
Mm-hmm.
just do
One.
Just that one.
Then we'll do
So
Public
if-
Works.
so
Yeah.
the beat out, we can take care of it.
We'll do Public Works and then PD for the next one.
Yeah.
And it should be pretty much finalized.
And then maybe one for just a general overview of, yeah.
That way at least we can have a
It
total.
will not be a repeat from last year.
No.
No. But that way at least we can have a total of everything, whether expenditures and our.
Yep.
That'd be nice.
All right, nobody else have anything else? Anybody? None, I'll look for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the
Second?
meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting closed.